Yo! Hello, everybody. Evening. Happy Sunday evening, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good weekend thus far. Not for me, though. I work weekends. My weekends are usually through the middle of the week, which is always kind of funny to say out loud. How's it been? I was eating my dinner, which is leftover pasta and then some chicken bites. Some honey chipotle chicken bites I bought from work. My body's been handling spicy food a little weirder lately. I don't really feel it on my tongue anymore. Instead, I've been feeling it in the back of my throat. My throat. Heavy will now lay egg down throat. He's got to stop doing that. I'm excited to get to Prince Jirian, I'm going to be honest. I'm having a lot of fun with Sir Brant. I'm just excited. I'm excited for both to see where the story takes us and stuff. And I really don't want to... I don't want to speed through it just because the new game is out, you know? But let's get back to where we were. We're still trying to get enough subterfuge so we can get the guns. That's also kind of important for me right now. We're in the middle of peacetime. By the end of stream, we should be at the revolt. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Now, let's see where we left off. If we can. If the game doesn't decide to kill me. It might just do. Let me quit the main menu and then try doing it again. Alright. Please, thank God. I got scared there for a second. Alright, here we are. Chapter 4, A Blast Wave. It's been 4 years since Archduke Melanidus and Overseer Tempest first clashed. Each claims the right to collect taxes in the province. Now for the third year in a row, they are each collecting their own tax, and the province is sinking deeper into poverty. That's true, they're each collecting their own taxes now, which is insane to think about. Imagine having to choose to pay to... Imagine, like, living in a country and then having to choose which person to pay taxes to. The people who have been hit the hardest are miners, diggers, and anyone who owns and manages a mine. When gunpowder first appeared in Magra, mine workers felt hope for a better future for the first time in years, but the ban soon followed, and those hopes died. People have lost their jobs, industrialists and manufacturers have lost their fortunes, the silver industry is in decline. The Lesser Quorum, led by Mayor Egmont, has been fighting to stop double taxation and reverse the ban on gunpowder for a long time now, but to no avail. The common people blame Magistrate Elverman. He has supported the gunpowder ban from the very beginning, branding it too dangerous to be handled by commoners. This friction is throwing sparks everywhere. You've always known that unrest would flare up one day, but oddly enough, it all begins with a celebration. It's early in the morning. You're eating breakfast with your family. Stefan is excited. Your brother has been invited to a ball at the Chancellery, and he has been getting ready ever since he woke up. Magistrate Elverman is a sly man, Stefan. I'd be wary of him if I were you. Some friends in high places can take more than they give. Enough, father. I already know that. But if we ever want to be ennobled by the sword, we have to take advantage of every opportunity that presents itself. There will be nobles of the highest ranks there from all over the province. Besides, there's no risk in making Elverman's acquaintance. Their conversation continues. Bored, you excuse yourself and go to the print shop. An ordinary day of work is followed by an ordinary evening. You're about to close up shop for the night when Alida arrives unexpectedly, and she brings a letter. It's an urgent report from Sophia. You glanced at it hurriedly. The handwriting is not Sophia's. Philippe has taken a great risk by writing to you under a false name, which means that this news is too urgent for caution. Our informers with Egmont's goons have warned us about a march tomorrow morning. There's trouble brewing. Miners, diggers, and even mine owners are involved. They're coming from all over the province to demand that Elverman lift the gunpowder ban. This march has Egmont's name all over it. It's supposed to be peaceful, no bloodshed. Apparently the miners think Elverman won't have the guts to use force, so he'll have to listen to their demands. Their plan is to show up during the magistrate's party. They're mad because he's throwing money around while they're all starving. There are several hundred workers coming, and they're fired up. They should get there early tomorrow morning. You have the night to get ready. Let's hope you know how to put this intel to good use. You burn the letter in the flame of the candle. As the paper turns to ash, you weigh your options. Egmont wants the protest to be peaceful, but will he be able to keep the angry miners from crossing the line? Stefan will be at that damn party of his. This complicates matters. Either way, Philippe is right. You cannot ignore this. What will you do during the unexpected protest? Profit from the havoc? Oh shit. Ah, my scheming isn't high enough. Damn. Alert El Vermin increases order. That's not what we want. We want order to decrease. Unrest to increase. Gives me unity and reputation. Stefan and Remy like me. Recruit the protesters to the last straw. That gives me, you know, I guess that increases the wealth of Magra, decreases unrest, but increases the spy network. Increases my manipulation and eloquence, and incite a full-fledged riot. Order down, unrest up, spy network down to -1. That increases my death, my manipulation, and my scheming. I would rather protest, to be honest here. My scheming simply isn't high enough, but is there a way I can get my scheming up? Inciting a full rebellion would get my scheming up, but I would die. I'm just going to recruit protesters, which would increase the spy network and decrease unrest, which is not good for us. That is not what we want at all. But it would keep it a lot safer. Interesting. I would have to get my scheming above. Ah, this is tough. This is a tough choice. I think the safest thing I can do is recruit the protesters to the last straw. Mostly because that gives me an eloquence point and I don't die. I would rather not sacrifice a life here. I would like a scheming point though. And it gives me unrest and less spy network and decreases the order. Maybe that is what I want. I don't know, but then I would die. Do I want to give up a death for this? Kind of. Order, unrest, spy network. I don't know how many turns I have left, you know? Maybe it's not worth it. Maybe doing this just to avoid a death? Yeah, I guess so. I'll take my chances. Death is for the revolt, man. Death is for the revolt. That's what I'm saving all my lives for. Sorry, I'm eating my dinner still. Sorry. Yummy. You give Alita her orders. She should tell Moss and Father Fouad to gather all your men. They need to be ready by tomorrow morning. Your mission is simple. You will join the Miners' March. They should not bring weapons. You will support the Miners' Rally, then recruit anyone you can to your cause. Come morning, the miners march into the city, tools in hand. They're dressed in rags covered in soot and coal and dust. Hitting buckets with shovels and pickaxes with every step, the rhythm is so loud as it is chaotic. The miners are led by mine owners and industrialists, who are in turn led by Mayor Egmont himself. His voice can be heard above the incessant din of metal on metal. Give us back our gunpowder, give us back our lives. If you want coal and silver, give us back our gunpowder. And the entire procession repeats after him, hundreds of voices chanting in unison. The people of Anazat echo their refrain from the windows. Occasionally, a gendarme finds himself in the path and scurries away. The procession is advancing towards the Chancellery building. Oliver's men join them at the North Gate. They are debtors and other assorted scum, willing to support any cause for the right price. As the procession enters the Temple District, the white robes of New Faith priests join the grey mass of miners. Father Fouad has worked a small miracle indeed. The priests' voices join the commoners' chant. The thunder's din grows louder still. The twins are on our side. Our cause is pleasing to them. Alita joins the procession as it nears the noble districts, the last straw's youngest members in tow. The miners grow bolder as they see more and more people supporting their cause. You push through the crowd to reach Egmont. I knew that was you, Theodore. You're not going to cause trouble, are you? We just want them to make a few concessions. I know my men, but as far as yours... You tell Mayor not to worry, your people are just here to show their support. Your goals are the same. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Theodore. The thousands of protesters soon approach the Chancellery building. The ball is cut short. Unable to flee the celebration in time, most of the nobles are trapped, surrounded by the chanting miners. Stefan is somewhere among them. Caught by surprise, the magistrate barely manages to alert the city gendarme. Their numbers are too small to disperse a mob this size, but the Anazat Legion garrison will appear any minute now. This is no time to be careless. Sensing its strength, the mob continues to chant and bang on buckets without any fear of the gendarme. Amid the metallic cacophony, Egmont's words repeat again and again. Bring us back our gunpowder, bring us back our lives. You want coal and silver, bring us back our gunpowder. Egmont clambers up onto a makeshift podium. Workers of Magra, our so-called protectors, are having a feast today. Let them see you with their own eyes. Let them hear you with their own ears. You are the people who harvest the lifeblood of our province day and night in the darkness of the mines. You are the people hidden from the light of day. You are the people who earn riches for our masters. The chant is deafening. Pickaxes and shovels clang against metal. This is the moment of truth. Either Elverman concedes or there will be blood. To the magistrate's credit, he has the composure to face the people himself. The crowd goes quiet for him to speak. I understand your plight, but I will never accept such lawlessness in my city. Leave Anazat immediately before the gendarme and the Legion force you out. The crowd murmurs in discontent. The people are on the verge of a riot. The magistrate feels it too. He raises his hands. However, I cannot promise you an end to the ban, but I am willing to procure grain and food with my own funds and distribute these supplies to everyone in need. This is a pittance, an insignificant handout designed to keep the people calm. But it is all they can hope for as long as the nobles remain in power. Egmont catches your glance. He understands it too. Magistrate, we accept your offer. We're leaving for the warehouses, and we expect the food wagons to arrive there by tomorrow. Once the miners have their supplies, they will leave the city. The mob disperses. Some leave feeling victorious, invigorated by the triumph of justice. Others, however, walk away feeling dejected and powerless. Your people put your plan into action. As the march splits up into groups, they join them and begin making friends, learning names, making connections. When the time comes, many of these miners will walk the streets again and get what they deserve, or to be sacrificed for Philippe's personal agenda. Later that evening, you were treated to another fight between Stefan and Gloria. Your brother rants about the commoners who ruined the ball, angry at the nobility. Gloria claims there will be a full-fledged revolt one day. You stay out of it. The wealth of Magra. Oh, discontent is down, the spite network's up. I got an eloquence point out of it. I'm clear speech now, so I got something out of it, even though it wasn't the exact thing I wanted. How's my week, Cherry? Not too bad. Well, kind of exhausting. I don't know, work is getting busier and busier and busier. Sorry, I was eating. Yummy. Alright. I still need to get my scheming up so I can get the guns. If I can do it in time. A holy day is coming, a day when the entire Empire thanks the twins for the silver tree. The sign they left behind is a reminder of their eternal presence in this world. This momentous occasion is especially important for Anazat, but the clergy cannot agree on how best to celebrate it. Father Leonard has called for all worshippers of the twins to approach the Temple of the Silver Tree and kneel before the sacred relic, but the old clergy balks at the idea of Leonard and the new believers leading the ritual. And the day has come. An immense crowd is moving in a procession towards the temple near the Silver Tree where Father Leonard awaits. But an inquisitor by the name of Jean stands in the way. She strikes a defiant pose. Confronted by a member of the Holy Order of the Inquisition, the procession reluctantly stops. People, turn back! Those who attended Leonard's rite will succumb to the new faith. Those who reject the lots will defy their divine design. You're about to bring the wrath of the gods down upon us all. Open your eyes, go back to your homes, and pray to the twins. The procession wants to move, but the people are confused, until Father Leonard himself walks out of the temple to meet Jean face to face. People of Anazat, no one has the right to deny you the sacred ritual of worship at the tree, not even the Inquisition. Is such a denial not more likely to provoke the wrath of the twins? The Inquisition must know that the new faith does not seek to challenge or defy the twins. We're merely trying to correct the mistakes of those who came before us. We do not want to anger the twins. We merely vex those who refuse to accept the dawn of a new age. Jean finds herself between a rock and a hard place. Seeing that she has no other choice, she lets the procession pass. The new faith's numbers have swelled of late. It cannot be stopped now. Back at the Silver Tree. Today is an important holiday. The entire Empire is celebrating the Festival of the Silver Tree, which commemorates the parting gift of the twin gods, the divine sapling they planted in our mortal world in the middle of Anazon. Families of the city spend the day in peace and quiet contemplating the divine roots that join together all people, their bloodlines, and the entire Empire. Mother always oversees this holiday. The day before the festival, she seemed to have shaken off her usual apathy and engaged in the preparations with excitement. It was as though her illness has loosened its grip. Mother gathers the entire family for the holiday meal. Father is in high spirits today, sharing jokes with you and Nathan. Stefan is trying to suppress an atypical agitation. Gloria is the last to join you at the table. She's wearing new breeches with high stockings and yellow vest. Gloria, you're wearing men's clothes again. No, Mother, I'm wearing clothes women are forbidden to wear. Father gives Gloria a stern look. Stefan rolls his eyes but says nothing. Suddenly, Nathan speaks up. A few days ago in the market, I saw a grocer dressed as Overseer Gaius Tempest. He had a huge carrot for a scepter. He got a sound drubbing, of course, but until then, it was quite a hoot. Everybody laughs at the ridiculous story, relieved. Even Gloria has a smile on her face when she sits down. The feast commences. Your home finally feels warm for a moment. Wasn't so long ago the four of you couldn't even reach up to this table. The first word you said, Gloria, was gimme. Nathan used to cling to my skirt all the time, almost tearing at it. And you, Theodore, you couldn't talk at all yet. But your piercing stare was so expressive, it felt as though you were talking to me. Mother looks at Stefan and suddenly grows quiet. When I met Stefan, he was already 3 years old. He was so serious, and a smooth talker to boot. I remember that he had a music teacher, but he was too shy to play in front of me, so I used to listen from the next room. Stefan's face twitches. Your elder brother rises and moves to the old harpsichord. His fingers fly gracefully over the keys. A melody fills the house, melancholy and sweet. The last note lingers in the air, then silence falls. The family's awestruck. Words fail you all. Who wrote that? A nobleman from the capital, between drinking a glass of wine and being a servant? Your sister's cutting remark puts an end to the warm, cozy atmosphere. Stefan calmly turns to face her. Ah! It was I who composed this piece of music. It's called Mother. Mother rises to her feet. She would have needed help to do so just recently, but now she treads unassisted towards Stefan and draws him close. Stefan puts his arms around his stepmother's waist and detaches himself awkwardly. May the twin gods bless you, Lydia. Gloria considers the thinly veiled fury in her eyes. Of course, high-born nobles like Stefan are made for the arts. They're the only ones lucky enough to have soul and experience inspiration. Unlike us, the lowborn, we aren't supposed to feel anything but suffering, let alone express it in poetry. Everyone notices that Gloria is clutching pages with writing, her poems. Your sister casts a mournful glance at the family, and her eyes rest on you. I cannot appeal to Mother, which is very funny. Don't give me a manipulator. Interrupt Gloria, less unity, more Stefan points. Let Gloria read her poems, of course. My family unity, oh no. You rise from your seat and speak. In your speech, you wholeheartedly support your sister. Gloria had the misfortune to be born a commoner, but she is still entitled to express her feeling. Why is Stefan the only one who has the right to delight Mother with his creations? Every member of our family should be equal. But what about her lot, son? Gloria has permitted herself to practice a noble activity thus breaching the divine order. You softly explain to Mother that times have changed. Nowadays, art isn't just a pleasure for the nobles, it's also a trade plied by many commoners. More and more low-born tradespeople are taking up the pen and ink rather than the hammer. This is now their labor and their suffering. Mother lets out a heavy sigh, but yields to the onslaught of your inspired speech. Emboldened by your support, Gloria steps into the center of the room, her eyes fixed on Father. A stranger and a bastard I am called, I am. But still I long for you to say that I am yours, and melt the icy cold that burns within my heart both night and day. My mother and my brothers all are near, but I feel cold as though we were apart. Ashamed, yet still compelled to make you hear. I long to hold you closely to my heart. I am a stranger, 'tis my only crime. Forgive me. Oh, but mercy is forbidden. I hope you'll see, if not forgiven, in time, my bitter love, both joyous and well hidden. Father stares at her in bewilderment. Gloria, Stefan springs to his feet and leaves for his chamber, slamming the door behind him. I don't feel so well, Nathan. Son, please help me to my room. Mother leaves the room leaning on Nathan's arm. The celebrations cut short. That guy hates me. We are halfway through peacetime. I gotta pick up these last 2 scheming points, man. I don't know where I'm gonna get them. Uh-oh. Of course they are. News from the capital quickly reaches every corner of the Empire. Girion and Flavius, the heirs to the throne, have left to the Emperor's palace for the province of Monia, which is ruled by the Great Chancellor Agarius Monrogue. The Great Chancellor has accused the Emperor's court of harboring malefactors conspiring against the Imperial heirs. This is why he has offered them shelter and safety in his own impregnable citadel. The common people are particularly worried by the news. They take it as a sign that the Chancellor is seeking to solidify his power by holding the heirs hostage. If this continues, Monroe could coerce the Emperor into revoking the Imperial law, thus depriving the common estate of any and all rights. All hope for reform in the Empire has vanished. From farmer to rich industrialist, the commoners are growing desperate. In your province, the authorities are trying their best to put the people at ease. The magistrate of Anazot makes a speech from his balcony to the excited crowd below. Trust in your Emperor, good people. The Imperial heirs are the future of the Great Tempest dynasty. The Emperor has made the wise decision to send them far away from this scheming court. Great Chancellor Monroe will take good care of them and keep them safe. All glory to the Empire, all glory to the Tempests. Oh shit. That's a struggle for power. Commoners are still flocking to Anazot. Refugees from villages that have been squeezed dry, miners who have lost their jobs, craftsmen who have lost their last coin. They all come to the city in search of shelter, safety, justice. Makeshift shacks litter the outskirts of the city, steadily growing into shanty towns. Every day the people of Anazot see more men and women hanging around the streets looking for work, leaving their children in the care of the most infirm and elderly of the refugees. Of all the powerful people in the city, Mayor Egmont is the only one who considers this a problem. He's ordered several of his warehouses to be converted into shelters and begun distributing bread to the refugees free of charge. You and Sophia are sitting on the roof of an apartment building watching people huddle around a wagon. The bread line stretched to the small square between the buildings yesterday, but today it disappears down the back streets with no end in sight. Look at those poor bastards. They've been betrayed by their own masters. The nobles robbed them blind, raised their villages, and left them to die. Backbreaking labor, endless suffering, dying in the gutter. That's all they've ever been given. Would any of them blasted nobles even move a finger to help the refugees? Not on your life. Mayor Egmont's the only one who cares. He is their only chance for survival. Say, Brant, I hear Augustin L. Bourne and Mayor Egmont have both been invited to your house for dinner. That true? How does Sophia know about this? Father asked you to keep it a secret. What difference does it make? You should have told me. Do you have any idea what this dinner means? It's a sit-down, Brant. They could be deciding the fate of our city, the fate of the last straw, the fate of our rebellion. You've gotta get me invited to that dinner. Tell them I'm your friend, your fiancé, your lover, I don't care. Just find some excuse for me to be there, okay? I can't invite Sophia to dinner, because she doesn't trust me! That's on you, girl! Agree with Sophia? I do. That does give me willpower. Which is good. Give in to her demands. Refuse? Unrest decreases. I need unrest to increase, yeah. Reputation willpower. I'm getting a phone call? I will not be picking that up. Well, maybe. I'll be right back. Oh, okay, back. Soggy. Even I miss a phone call. Oh, why is the whole thing gone? Oh, maybe because it's not on the screen? There we go. Okay, scared me. Yeah, I agree with Sophia. I can't give in to her demands. She's merciless or trusting. Neither. That's very funny. Unrest. Getting extra willpower is always good. I wonder how embittered, trusting, and merciless. I wonder how all three of those will separate at the end. Of course, Sophia can come to dinner tonight, but she's going to need proper outfit. No worries, Brant. I can behave in a noble society. Time for the dinner party arrives. The Brant house prepares for guests. You cannot remember the last time your entire family got together like this. Just a second. Turn all this down. Okay. Jeez, that was weird. Yeah. Father is unusually focused and serious today. Mother is wearing father's wedding gift, a precious brooch adorned with gems. To her, it's a small act of defiance. Commoners may not indulge in luxury, but today is a special day indeed, and she's found the courage to dare this small transgression. Stefan is more carefree and high-spirited than usual. He always enjoys his uncle's visits. Nathan is a quiet, furtive, and inconspicuous as ever. Gloria, however, only smiles to herself. Sophia is sitting at the table to your left. The family casts curious glances at her. From time to time, it feels so strange to see her here at home together with your family. Mother is the first to acknowledge her presence. Sophia, Theodore told us he was inviting someone important to him. He never mentioned that this someone was a charming young lady. Pray tell, how did you and my son meet? Well, why, I actually used to live around here when I was little. You probably don't remember me, but then fate brought your son and me together years later, and now we see each other all the time. Sophia's hand gently comes to rest on yours. The touch of her skin sends a warm ripple through your entire body. Your family notices this little gesture. Mother exchanges a knowing glance with father. Is that so? To be honest, I'm surprised Theodore has been hiding such a charming young lady from us all this time. But I'm glad he's finally had the courage to introduce us. I'm sorry I won't be able to chat with you as much as I'd like during dinner tonight, but you're welcome to come back anytime. Sophia turns to you with a beautiful, alluring smile. She leans in closer to whisper to your ear. Sorry for the charade, Brant. I figured it'd make things easier for us. You feel an odd sense of excitement swelling in your chest and spreading its warmth to the rest of your body. You cannot help but smile at Sophia's little pretense. You hold hands with Sophia openly. Oh, if only this dinner could be just a dinner. If only the woman next to you could be just your beloved, here to meet your family for the first time. If only this pretense could be a reality. How simple, pure, and happy that imaginary life could have been. The servants soon announce the guests' arrival. Baron Augustin Elborn and Mayor Egmont greet the master and mistress of the house one after another, then take their seats at the dinner table. After the traditional exchange of pleasantries, you enjoy an exquisite dinner followed by wine. There would ordinarily be dessert for Father and Stefan, but today the noblemen make do with wine. Elborn and Egmont finally begin to discuss the droves of commoners seeking refuge in the city. Elborn. I must confess, Egmont, I don't understand your motivation here. Are you moved by an honest desire to help people, or the expectation of some inscrutable profit? Regardless, you have to put an end to this before it's too late. The food and shelter you offer them only serves to attract more and more refugees to Anazond. And when they finally fill the streets, what are you going to do then? What am I going to do then? The Archduke, the Overseer, what are they going to do? Have you considered this? Please understand me, I harbor no ill will towards these people. But Gaius Tempest is concerned that they will eventually start causing trouble. Archduke Melanidas is looking for any excuse to march his punitive battalions into the city. Mayor, into the city, Mayor. Is that really what you want? Excuse me. Excuse me. With all due respect, Sir Prefect, I cannot do what you ask. These people have nowhere else to go. No one else will help them. Here in Anazot, at least I can offer them food and shelter. But are you really asking me to let them starve to death? Do not deceive yourself, Augustin. I was one of those who welcomed the new overseer at first, just like all the rest. I hoped that the common estate would get a little more breathing room under his rule. But what did Gaius Tempest do? He started this power struggle with the Archduke. He made the double tax possible. He signed the ban on gunpowder. A ban on gunpowder, and in Magra of all places, a province that lives off the silver ore we mine. Which is why, Sir Elborn, I do not trust the Archnians or the nobility anymore. No, sir, I will not rely on their generosity. The only way I can accomplish anything in this world is by myself, by the sweat of my brow, by sticking my neck out for others. Augustin, you are the only noble in the imperial government I can trust. You are known throughout the city as the protector of the lowly estate, so protect the lowly estate. Offer protection to the refugees. Convince the overseer to let them stay here. Let me save their lives. I'm very sorry, Egmont, but that is impossible. Gaius Tempest has made it very clear that if I cannot resolve the situation, he will bring the Legion into the city and deal with it himself. Hates me to say this, but these people would be better off leaving the city, or maybe even Magra. You must realize this. They should go to Illyria or some other place and start new lives. The only thing waiting for them here in Anazot is death. There's nothing I can do to help them. Glance at Sophia warily, her brows are furrowed and her hands are balled into fists. She interrupts Elborn without a warning. Enough! Everyone turns to her in surprise. Did a low-born woman just have the audacity to raise her voice while important men were talking? That's enough. You are Baron Augustin Elborn, the Prefect of Magra, the protector of the common folk, the last hope for people like me. You're all we've got. Mayor Egmont is right. The Archnians don't care about us at all. As far as the Melanidises and the Tempests are concerned, we don't even exist. Every commoner in the city knows there's only one noble in Anazot who actually cares, and that's you, Sir Elborn. Not the Overseer, not the Archduke, not the Magistrate, not the Patriarch, none of them. You're the only man who can change things in this city. If not you, then who? And if not now, then when? The Overseer needs your support. He trusts you. He'll listen to you. You don't have to blindly follow his every order. You're free to make up your own mind and speak to him on behalf of the people. I'm begging you, please, don't betray us. Don't betray all the trust we've placed in you. Help Mayor save these people. The amber candlelight glimmers and sparkles reflected in Sophia's eyes. My apologies, ma'am. We've not been introduced. Sophia, a comment. A lengthy silence hangs over the room. No one knows what to do. Everyone holds their breath, waiting for Augustin Elborn to react. Thank you, Sophia. Your words... You ought to thank this young lady, Mayor. You will have my support. The refugees may stay. Do your best to give them decent shelter and food, and see if there's any work they can do. I'll see if I can convince the Archduke that they pose no threat, and I'll take steps to keep the streets safe. The guests thank their hosts for their hospitality, then leave one after another. You walk Sophia to a carriage. Thanks for dinner, Theodore. It was fun, acting like everything's normal for once. You played your part like a pro. The next day, Augustin Elborn makes a statement to the people of Anazot. The prefecture and the lesser quorum have reached an agreement. The refugees arriving in the city will be offered temporary shelter and provisions. No announcement from the overseers are forthcoming. That's misery and devastation. And discontent. I'm full of power. Yeah, I am gonna need that willpower, I think. Something tells me it's gonna be needed. Be really upset if I can't get these guns, though. Last piece of chicken. What's up? The illegitimate girl. Oh? That's not even on here. Sophia does indeed have the gunpowder, though. Damn, that was a big piece of chicken. Okay. The illegitimate girl. Your home is quiet tonight. Father is away arbitrating disputes in Magran villages. Stefan is visiting one of his high-placed patrons. After a dinner spent in silence, everyone retreats to their chambers. You're about to retire for the night when Gloria calls out to you. Theodore, wait a minute. I have an important favor to ask you. Your sister leads you to her longtime refuge, the library. Here in the shadows between the bookcases, you will not be overheard. Brother, I wish to speak with you before Stefan returns. His scheming is becoming unbearable. It's beyond Sir Robert's power to stop him, let alone Mother or Nathan. You're my only hope. You shrug. All families argue from time to time, but every quarrel has to end sooner or later. Yes, it will end when Stefan finally gets rid of me. As far as he's concerned, I'm just a stumbling block and a stain on his father's good name. He lets me stay in the house only to avoid causing a scandal in high society, but as soon as the Brants get their precious nobility of the sword, I'll be out in the street in the blink of an eye. Theodore, you don't want for me to get kicked out of the family, do you? Please help me. I need to convince Sir Robert to adopt me and make me legitimate. After that, it won't be so easy for Stefan to dispose of me, and then I won't bear the stigma of being a bastard anymore. I know Sir Robert would agree, if only by the virtue of love he has for our mother, but Stefan is standing in his way. Tell me, will you help me? An illegitimate child who has never known her father, a stranger in the family. Gloria looks at you with hopeful and pleading eyes. Well, of course I'll help her. You promised your sister that you will say. You give Gloria a firm embrace. Ever since you were children, she's always been by your side. The two of you may have different fathers, but she is your sister. She must remain a member of this family. It's your duty to come to her aid. You will make sure Gloria becomes a brand. Gloria lets out a sigh of relief and hugs you back. Makes me so happy to know you're on my side. You wait for Stefan to come home. Your brother returns from his visit mirthful and in high spirits. This is the perfect moment to have a talk. That went splendidly, brother. Magistrate L. Vermin himself will support us. I'm on a friendly footing with his son now. It won't be long before we become nobles of the sword. But why are you still up? You raise the matter of your sister. The feud between Stefan and Gloria must end. Your brother seems to be unaware how much damage it is inflicting on the family, but you know how to remedy it. The reason for everything is Gloria's lowly station. She should bear the Brant's name. Your brother assumes a board me in. Don't waste your time, brother. I know what Gloria's after. You mentioned damage to the family. Can you even fathom what this would mean for the Brant name? By allowing an illegitimate child into this family, our father would cover us all with an indelible shame. Several generations of Brants to come would not even dare to dream of becoming nobles of the sword. By the twin gods, I will not let that happen. You attempt to point out to Stefan that Gloria's desperate situation is leading her to more and more audacious escapades. If your sister becomes a member of this family, she'll stop. Believe me, Theodore. I want to see Gloria at peace as much as you do, but not at the cost of our entire family's future. Absolutely not. I have a different idea for Gloria, and I'm sure this solution will satisfy everyone involved. Good night. You let your sister know of Stefan's vehement denial. Gloria is so vexed she's shaking. They wouldn't even hear us out. Is that it? He's willing to do anything just to drive me out, isn't he? Theodore, we need to think of something. Gloria will continue her battle for the right to stay with the family, and you have promised to help her. The secret plot. The secret plot. Getting even. Philippe left Anisot for the capital last night on urgent business. He gave you both direct, unambiguous orders before he left. Cease all activity and wait for him to return. A month of freedom, an entire month of peace. Is this real? Can you finally stop and catch your breath? But, unfortunately, you do not even get to enjoy the thought of freedom for long. As noon approaches, Sophia appears in the door of your office. She's risked a visit in the middle of the day. This must be urgent. What brings her here? Dorius Ott, ring a bell? You know, the High Commander of Magra, an Arctian, my former master, rapist, murderer, all-around piece of shit. I've been keeping tabs on him ever since I got back to Anisot. Here's where it gets interesting, Brant. It's how Philippe Alfaro isn't the only guy trying to take advantage of the chaos to make a grab for power. There's a noble revolt brewing, way up in the upper echelons. Melandinus' followers are itching to rebel against Overseer Tempest, and Dorius Otten is one of the heavies. You see where I'm going with this? All Gaius Tempest's authority comes from the Imperial Legion's swords, and the guy in charge of them all, the High Commander of the province, that's Otten. And he can't wait to betray the Overseer and hand all that power over to the Archduke. If this revolt goes through, everything we've worked for will go up in smoke. We can't let this happen. We need to expose Otten as a traitor he is and give Gaius Tempest all the proof. What about Philippe? What does he have to say about this? We don't even know where Philippe is right now. He's incommunicado. We'll have to go against his orders and act on our own. We've got no time to waste either. They could spring into action at the drop of a hat. Sophia's voice is trembling. You're not used to hearing her like this. You ask her why she's so eager to take Otten down. Is she out for revenge? More worried about the last straw's future than revenge, but I'm gonna level with you. If I had my way, I'd love nothing more than to strangle Otten with my bare hands. Sicking the Overseer on him is the next best thing. As usual, Sophia sounds level-headed, and makes us all point. But you cannot help but feel she's still hiding something. Should you defy Philippe's orders and aid her? Is it a good idea to get involved in the struggle between the province's two most powerful Arcanians? I cannot ask her to explain herself, because my scheming is too low! But that would increase my spy network anyway. I could agree. Scheming is way too low. I can refuse, which will increase my willpower, and refuse and have Sophia shadowed. Oh, that increases my scheming. Yeah, fuck you, Sophia. You refuse to participate. Oh, that increases my spy network, though. Yeah. You shake your head. No, you will not help Sophia with this. You dope. You think Philippe's gonna save you if you're a good boy? But hey, it's your funeral. I'm disappointed. With that, Sophia leaves. You call Alita Siren into your office. Sophia has been acting strangely recently. You're concerned. You ask Alita to keep an eye on her. Alita reports to you the next morning. I followed Sophia through the city like you asked. She met some people. They acted like the last straw, but I've never seen them at our meetings before, ever. And they're not just some greenhorns. They clearly know the trade, and they know Sophia and trust her, and she trusts them too. They set up a watch around the Archmean's house, no two ways about it. I couldn't hear what they were saying. We would have had to get too close. What's going on? Did you and Sophia have a fight or something? That's the last thing we need right now. On the contrary, we need to pull together. That's what you always tell us. You set Alita's fears to rest. Everything's okay. You're just worried about Sophia. She seems to be involved in some kind of risky venture, but she has been keeping it a secret from you for some reason. A few days later, you hear the gang of street thugs tried to break into Otten's mansion but failed and were killed on the spot. Figures. Defying an Archnean as powerful as Otten was a fool's errand. Now you know something. Sophia does not trust you. She's playing a game of her own. She even has her own little private gang. What other secrets could she be hiding? Yes. Yes, we gotta get this up to, what is it? 15. One more point, and we'll be in the safe. We'll be in the clear. We'll be in the clear, Geek. Oh, we're so close to the end! No! Boing, 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 boing. Rumors are running wild in Anazon. People say that a mysterious clandestine society called the Last Straw holds the entirety of the city's seedy underbelly in its clutches, with men in safe houses all over Anazon, plotting and scheming against the nobles and the rulers of the province. Their leader is a woman, a ruthless criminal by the name of Sophia. She has evaded all attempts at capture. The common people both fear the Last Straw and sympathize with their cause. If the rumors are true, the city finally has someone who will stop at nothing to help people claim their rights. But who would support this secret organization? And how the insurgents managed to survive this long? No one in the city knows the answers. Magistrate Elverman must assuage the people's fears once again. The vile mutineers and heretics who call themselves the Last Straw will be caught and executed very soon. Anyone who has given them money and shelter will meet the same fate. The secret chancellor will make sure of that. But even facing a manhunt, the Last Straw still endures. Slowly but surely, the influence of this underground organization is spreading throughout the city. Unrest has decreased. The order has decreased. Power has increased. Struggle for power. The wealth of Magra is almost wicked bad. That's a hard goodbye. Uh-oh. Night falls upon the city, shrouding it in darkness and dotting the sky with stars. The din of the streets die down slowly. Soon the heavy footfalls of gendarme patrols is the only sound. You're at the print shop, tying up the day's loose ends. There's a sudden knock at the door. Sophia walks in without a word, holding a half-empty bag. She heads to the room containing the shop's records. Somewhere in there, under piles of paperwork, is a crate with her things in it. Sophia pushes the papers aside and starts shoving her things into the bag. She barely looks at what she's doing. What is going on? She freezes as though noticing you for the first time, then pulls up a chair, sits down, and lights her pipe. I was with Philippe just now. I'm leaving. For a long time. Could be a whole year. Gotta recruit pissed off people for the Last Straw from all over Magra. He thinks we've already found everybody here in Anazont. Is she going alone? Sophia nods, exhaling smoke. Yep, Philippe's orders. Says it's safer that way. He needs you here. Her eyes are trained on you. You notice yellow light glimmering deep within them. Even without the underground movement, Sophia is just as dangerous on her own, and Philippe actually thinks she's going to recruit hundreds more people to die for his scheme? Sophia puffs out ring after ring. They slowly dissolve into the air, filling the room with acrid smoke. There's no hiding from her light blue eyes. A gentle smile plays on her lips. Just don't botch the whole thing while I'm gone, okay, Brant? You nod. An awkward silence follows. Deep inside Sophia's pipe, a red spark flares back to life again. She knew you would be at the print shop alone tonight. Did she really come here just to tell you this? She does not look away. I can only wish her a safe journey? Wow! Sophia is not trusting, not merciless. Not merciless. Sophia's embittered, but I don't have enough relationships with her. This gives me grown close. That's a shame. Could've got it. Did. Wish her a safe journey. So that means we can't do a full rebellion then. That means we won't be able to... Yeah, that means we won't be able to last draw riot. A shame. Have a safe journey, girl. You look at Sophia in the eye and wish her good luck for safe travels. There's plenty of danger on the road, Magra, especially now in these troubled times, but you're confident that Sophia will survive and thrive no matter where she goes. She nods and looks away. Yeah, you're right. I'll be okay. You better be okay too, Theodore. I can't help you anymore. From now on, you're on your own. Be careful who you trust, and don't get yourself caught. Sophia stands up, slings her bag over her shoulder, and hands you a sheath. It contains a mesricord, a long, slender dagger. You accept the parting gift. A moment later, the door closes quietly behind her. Only then do you realize that she was waiting for something from you. Something more than just a few kind words and a good luck wish. But she's gone. The moment has passed. You're alone. The last straw rests solely on your shoulders now. I'm full of power. Well, that's what happens. Fuck around and find out. I needed that scheming point. I need the guns. Well, the unrest in Magra is growing by the day. More and more commoners flock to the streets and squares, trying to make their voices heard by the nobility. The crowds have become too large for the gendarmes to disperse. They can no longer be ignored. For the first time in years, the ruling estate seems to have seen the people for the terrifying power they represent, and they have decided to fight fire with fire. In spite of all the resistance offered by Prefect Alborn and the Lesser Quorum, the magistrate and the aristocracy finally get their way. Overseer Tempest deploys troops to the city. The streets and squares are packed on this ill-fated day. Hidden in the crowd, you watch 2 battalions of the Imperial Legion march triumphantly down the streets of Anazat. The banners of Magra and the Tempest dynasty soar proudly above the soldiers' heads. Gaius Tempest leads the battalions himself atop a white Monian stallion. To his right, you see a young captain of the battalion. He looks familiar. It's Thomas Guerrero. When the procession reaches the Golden Square, it stops, so the Overseer can address the people. Battalions, defensive formations. Legion soldiers spring into action, slamming their weapons against their shields as they move. Their ranks shift in eerie harmony down the last man like an enormous, uncanny machine, and then they all stop at once in an instant. The square grows silent, the Overseer's booming voice echoes for all to hear. People of Anazat, I have heard your cry for help, and come to the city accompanied by my loyal soldiers. The Imperial Legion will bring order to the Anazat and put an end to all riots and crime. These soldiers will protect you from the schemes of rebellious nobles, insidious insurgents, and anyone else who seeks to spark unrest. I am Gaius Tempest, the Overseer of Magra and Anazat. By the Emperor's decree, I rule this land. Those who question my rule question the Emperor's rule as well, and they will be executed as rebels and insurrectionists. You hear whispers throughout the square. My Legion's rival is a harbinger of change, but how drastic will this change be? Even at home, the Legion is only a topic of conversation during dinner. I think the twins Gaius Tempest has finally decided to act. Those low-born scum have gone grown far too insolent of late. They ought to be reminded of their place with an iron fist. Intimidating the people won't do anyone any good, Stefan. They have valid reasons to take to the streets, but instead of hearing them out, the Overseer is hiding behind his soldiers. It's disgusting. I think Gloria's right. Everyone's really scared. A lot of my friends want the Legion to leave the city too. Those friends of yours know nothing, Nathan. Their lot is to work and suffer, not wag their tongues. Oh, we're so sorry, Sir Stefan. We forgot that only blue bloods can rule. Too bad all that inbreeding hasn't made them any smarter. Enough bickering, you two. You clearly don't understand what's going on. The purpose of the Overseer's move is first and foremost to thwart the plot against him set in motion by Archduke Melandidus' loyal clique of nobles. The commoners are a secondary matter. By the way, Theodore, I've heard the battalion is being led by an old schoolmate of yours. He hasn't told you anything about what Gaius Tempest is up to, has he? You've not seen Thomas in a long time. He's not told you anything. It's too bad. Oh well. I suppose time will tell. Whatever the reason, the Legion is here in Anazat, and is a force that must be reckoned with. As luck would have it, Thomas is in command of it. Is there any way for you to turn this situation to the last straw's advantage? Scheming? I could use it. Yes. Oh, he gets exiled. convince Thomas to cooperate, I die. Incite the common people to riot against them. Denounce the rebellious nobles, Thomas. Exile. You and Thomas have known each other ever since you were boys. You used to play on these very streets pretending to be heroes of old, fighting the great battles of the past. Now Thomas commands the Legion soldiers sent to Anazot to quash the unrest, while you command the Last Straw and have spent several years preparing the city for a full-scale revolt. There it is, the ruins of Charmelan at his palace. The remains of your childhood fort still stand among the crumbling stonework. Thomas arrives alone without any soldiers to guard him. He wears a suit of armor and the vibrant cloak of a commanding officer, a sword by his side. His shoulders have grown even broader and he treads firmly. You spot a few early gray threads in his hair. Your old friend has changed quite a bit, but he still recognizes you with the same bright smile, just as in the good old days. Do I need Sophia for the Last Straw, right? I do. You have to meet all three and... Ugh, this sucks. Well, maybe I can free City Post. Theodore, am I glad to see you? After a warm embrace, you congratulate your old friend on his promotion. Ah, it's nothing, but this was a good idea meeting here like this. And look, there's our old fort. Can you believe it's still there after all these years? Feels like a dream whenever I'm back in Anazot. So much has happened. I've become a nobleman, joined the Legion, got promoted to captain, but everything here is just still as it was. Still just as it was. Even those old wooden planks we lugged all the way here are still standing. You interrupt Thomas's reminiscence. This is no time for nostalgia. You have something important to discuss. Thomas's face grows serious. I'm listening, Theodore, and I'll help if I can. It's not about you, you explain. You want Thomas to hear you out, not as a battalion captain, but as your old friend who grew up right here, the streets of Anazot. The power struggle between Gaius Tempest and Tarquinius Melanitus has starved Magra and shattered the lives of many of your friends. The people are at the end of their rope. They cannot live like this any longer. They will never stop protesting because their only hope is to get the Overseer to listen to them. The protesters are not a handful of insurgents, you tell Thomas. No, they are all people he has known his entire life. And they are only protesting because they have no other choice. If the Legion soldiers try to stop them, there will be blood. Thomas will have to slaughter his own people. You do not want this for him. You do not want this for the people of Anazot. This can't be, Brant. What do you mean? The Overseer isn't listening? That's why my battalions are here, to bring peace back to the people. To show them the Overseer cares about them and wants to protect them. Thomas has been away from Anazot for a long time. The people have grown desperate. They now see Legion soldiers as enemies rather than protectors. Sooner or later, they will clash. The only way to prevent bloodshed is for the Legion to allow the people to be heard by the Overseer. And the more people assemble, the sooner he will hear them. What are you saying? How can you ask me this? I'm here to stop that from happening. I go against the Overseer's orders. That's treason. Do you know what they do to traitors? They'd hang me without a second thought. You raise your hands in a conciliatory gesture. Obviously you don't want your friend to be punished, but some things just have to be said. There are so many lives at stake here, and Thomas is in a position to make a difference. Thomas sighs anxiously, rubbing his forehead. You're right about one thing, Theodore. I haven't been back to Anazot in a long time. I'll take a look around, see things for myself, and if you're right, then maybe I'll think about it. Certainly, you reply. That is all you ask. The city is quiet for the next week. The people slowly grow accustomed to the sight of Legion soldiers patrolling the streets, but remain nervous around them just the same. A fortnight after the conversation with your old friend, a letter arrives. Excuse me. Dear Brant, you were right. I spoke with my friends and family acquaintances, simple folk, and it's true. They've got nothing left but hope. I also met with nobles, including the Overseer himself, and none of them even want to see how they're driving the city off a cliff. I'm a warrior, not a butcher. I will not allow the Legion to silence the people with steel, no matter what. It is time to act. A sea of people fills the Chancellery Square. Legion soldiers stand between the mob and the Chancellery itself. Thomas's vibrant cloak flashes here and there behind their backs. They stand with their shields together, but their spears are pointed upward rather than at the protesters. They do not take a single step toward the crowd. You personally instructed your comrades to make sure the gathering remains peaceful, but you're still terrified to see so many people amassed in one place. You cannot see Alita, or Fwoud, or Oliver, but you hear one voice after another being shouted from various parts of the mob. More and more voices join the chant. Legion out of Anazot! Legion out of Anazot! Legion out of Anazot! The Legion battalions remain frozen in place like stone statues. They do not let the commoners reach the Chancellery walls, but they do not disperse them either. An hour passes like this, then another. The chanting dies down, only to begin again and again. Father Fwoud's speeches keep the mob on the edge. Oliver's paid barkers do their job. Alita's voice stokes the fire in the heart of the young, but the people are getting tired. Did you miscalculate? Has the Overseer left the city for the day? The Chancellery doors swing open. The Overseer is here after all. He raises a hand and a shiver runs through the horde. The square falls silent. Good people of Anazar, your voice has been heard. In the name of the Emperor, you have my word that if you all leave this square, quickly and peacefully, my battalions will vacate the city. But if any of you are still in this square 1 hour hence, my battalions will restore order. Once the Overseer finishes his speech, he turns around and disappears inside the Chancellery. Silence follows. For a brief moment, the people are dumbstruck, then they begin to disperse. Their elation grows, they've been heard, they've won. You leave the square along with them, the last straw has won the day, you got what you wanted. The battalions leave the city by night, and Arctian always keeps his promise. The next day starts with yet another fight in the Brant household. Gloria gleefully gloats over yesterday's events. Stefan responds with an outburst of rage. He's still furious over the Overseer's perceived weakness. Your head begins to ache from their shouting and foul language. It's one day of peace, too much to ask. Several days passed. There's a knock at the door. Thomas is standing there dressed in plain clothes. No vibrant officer's cloak, no sword by his side. What happened? Your old friend just chuckles. See what I get for listening to you, Brant? We're in the same estate again, just like in the good old days. You don't know what to say. You never wanted this. It's okay, Brant. You didn't force my hand, it was my choice. And I don't regret it. I'd rather be a commoner than a butcher. I came to say goodbye. I've been ordered by the Overseer to leave Anazot and never come back. Ah well, beats getting executed, right? I doubt we'll ever see each other again. Thomas offers you his hand. Farewell, Theodore. You stay on the path no matter what. You shake your friend's hand for the last time. You ruined Thomas's life for your own ends. How much more will you have to sacrifice before this is finally over? The secret chancellery feels the brunt of the Overseer's fury as well. Brant, I need to execute a few people to convince Gaius Tempest the instigators of the protest have been found. Pick a few people you won't mind losing. It's not an easy choice to make. After thinking long and hard, you decide to go the safest route and hand over several of Moss's ancients to the authorities. No one will miss those drunks and degenerates. Good riddance to bad rubbish. But don't go thinking I can replace them just like that. I ain't made of goons, yeah? Guess Sir Philippe will have to get by without reports to his enemies for a bit. Exiled. Goodbye, Thomas. Means to an end, I say. The people are ready for struggle. That's a treacherous position. Dishonorable, tarnished honor. Thomas had violated the order of the Overseer. He has been demoted and went into exile. Did you forget something? Do-dee-dee-doo-doo. Conditions event unrest over equal to 8. This event is a consequence, sound and fury. Riots in Anazot are reaching boiling point. Disgruntled crowds that took to the streets 2 days ago are protesting night and day. The pavement is littered with rubble and broken glass. It is impossible to deny that you had a hand in this. The last straw has spent years helping the common folk of Anazot realize that they have the right to make their voice heard. Any attempt to silence that voice has led to paroxysms of rage among the people. Never read that word before. The Lesser Quorum petitioned Gaius Tempest 3 days ago. The petition asked the Overseer to suspend the nobility's ancient right to be exempt from the taxes. This would ease the burden of the poor common folk. But the petition never reached the Overseer. Several furious nobles barged in while the Quorum was still in session. It all ended in bloodshed. The next day, the commoners took to the streets. They demanded that the Overseer adopt the Quorum's proposal at once. They've clamored tirelessly for the nobles' despotism to be punished for 2 days now. The authorities remain silent. The city is on the verge of a revolt. And you need to deal with this at once, Brant. Stop this madness by any means necessary. If this disturbances go too far, noble blood could be spilled. We can't let that happen. How are you supposed to stop the crowd, for that matter? Should you? We could bribe them. Unrest goes down, wealth goes down, manipulation goes up. Threaten the Lesser Quorum, unrest goes down, spy network goes down. Take control of the disturbances. Order goes down, wealth of Magra up, unrest up 2, spy network down 1, wealth -1, scheming +1. To prevent bloodshed, you take charge of the disturbances yourself. Oh yes. The only way to avoid bloodshed is to take charge of the disturbances yourself. Finding the ringleaders of the protests proved to be a simple task. Excited by your offer to support, they are eager to talk to you. The meeting takes place at night. The dim candlelight casts shadows on their worn faces. You see an ancient-looking woman in a moth-eaten silk garment, a stout middle-aged workman, a gray-eyed old man wearing white tunic of the new faith priest. You ask them whether they understand that a massacre is about to happen. All the nobles need is a single attack by the commoners, and the Overseer will sick the Legion on them. Basil Young. Yeah, you're right. None of us want bloodshed, but what are we supposed to do if they won't listen to us? What are you suggesting? The commoners already live their lives buried beneath the staggering burden of their lot. The nobility rules over them without realizing how dependent they are on their own subordinates. But there is no way to remind them of this, and it will not require any bloodshed. All the commoners need to do is stop working. If the peasants do not take to the fields, if the merchants do not open their shops, if the miners abandon their pickaxes, the nobles will have to suffer along with them. It will not take long for them to see that the province is on the brink of ruin. The Overseer will have no choice but to relent. Let it be known, the proletarian's greatest weapon at hand is neither gun, nor is neither ballot nor bullet, but rather the work stoppage. They ponder your words. Are you suggesting that we lose what little income we have left? Our children are already starving as is. Exactly. People already earn a pathetic pittance for their back-breaking labor. If the Overseer ignores the Lesser Quorum's plea, many will not survive the winter. It is a frightening proposition, but it will be worth it. We'll need time to persuade the others, but we'll try. The next day, the city comes to a standstill. The commoners of Anazot, including those who did not dare take to the streets, refuse to work until the Overseer hears them out. The streets are buried in sand, the shops are closed, the factories are empty, the unplowed fields are choked with weeds. Many nobles resort to force in an attempt to make their servants return to work, but the common folk dutifully accept their punishment without resuming their labor. Overseer Tempest refuses to send the Legion against people who have not even attempted to arm themselves. Confronted by their own helplessness, the nobles ask the clergy for aid, but to their surprise, the priests of the new faith, led by Abbot Leonard, support the common folk. The people of Anazot, who have chosen labor as their lot, must be justly ruminated for it rather than extorted by taxation and left penniless. What kind of obedience can you expect from starving people? Only a week passes before the nobles of Anazot are ready to negotiate with the Lesser Quorum. The petition finally reaches the Overseer. Magistrate Elverman has the honor to announce the response. His Grace Gaius Tempest has learned of the hardships of his people and now hears his will. An appeal from the people of Magra has reached my ears. The misery of the lowborn is great indeed, and an honorable governor must support his subjects. I hereby command the nobles of Anazot to pay taxes to the treasury of Magra for the next year. During the same year, the taxes to the lowly estate shall be halved. Return home to find Father bent over his ledger. As a nobleman of the mantle, he will be one of the first to pay the new tax. This is the first real victory for the people have ever achieved. It may not be a revolt, but it demonstrates that the citizens of Anazot are ready to fight for their future. In your note to Philippe, you remark that you have avoided bloodshed, just as the advisor wanted. Order is down. The wealth of Magra has increased, though, which is funny. Unrest is now at riots and mayhem. Treacherous position for the spy network. My personal wealth has decreased. And my scheming is finally at 15. It's time for a powder keg rebellion. Oh, yes. Uh-oh. Usual suspects. This event is a consequence. Oh, he's gonna fucking kill my ass. He's gonna fucking kill my ass, dude. This is where I die 4 times. Doubtful I'd be able to manipulate him again. But I got my scheming. I don't think I seized the guns, though. Philippe has chosen an unusual meeting place tonight. Anazot's ancient marble bathhouse. He's gonna drown me. It's a place only nobles are allowed to enter, but tonight, in accordance with the advisor's will, its doors are open to you. The Straff treat you with subservience typically reserved for real noblemen. You're shown to a magnificent hall with a ceiling supported by centuries-old columns and left alone. The reflections of hundreds of candle flames dance across the walls and the water in the marble pool. You notice a bowl of candied fruit and a bottle of wine. There are no other patrons. I'm gonna die! This is most likely the only time you will ever see the inside of the bathhouse. Philippe rarely uses the same meeting place twice. After a while, you muster enough courage to enter the water. It's very warm. You lie on your back and float, your body relaxes, and a pleasant feeling of drowsiness creeps over you. You're startled by echoing footsteps and the percussive thudding of a cane. Philippe is approaching. Several burly men led by Oliver Moss follow behind him. You get out of the water and reach for your clothes, but Moss steps onto your garments, preventing you from covering yourself. Hello there, Brant. Philippe's men surround you. The advisor taps the floor with his cane. The sound echoes off the marble walls. Droplets of water from your wet hair run down your back, causing you to shiver. Are you really naive enough to think you could conceal your betrayal from me, Brant? I'm the advisor of the secret chancellery. I know all about the deals you made behind my back. But I'll give you one last chance to save yourself. Confess your betrayal, and maybe, just maybe, I won't drown you in this pool like a runt. Prove your loyalty. Believe that you have always been loyal to him and him alone. Betray El Vermin. Betray Egmont. Mayor in jeopardy. Betray Sophia. Deny your guilt. Manipulation moment! Manipulation moment! You make a clever line and throw off suspicion. Dude, it's so good being level 20 manipulation. What the absolutely! At the cost of 10 willpower? Yeah! You need to remain calm. Philippe does not know anything for sure, he is just fishing. The advisor is a hard man to deceive, but you have learned a lot over the years. Looking Philippe straight in the eye, you tell him that the test makes no sense. None of his enemies could possibly have counted on your help, not even for a second. You've made no deals, you've conspired with no one, you've not betrayed Sir Advisor, you're loyal to him and him alone. Philippe gazes at you for a moment and snaps his fingers. Moss lifts his foot from his clothes. His men move aside a bit. Fine, Brant, you've passed the test. Your loyalty is admirable. I need a man in Magra I can trust. You may stay here until midnight. Loyalty deserves to be rewarded. They leave. You sit right down on the marble floor trying to calm your pounding heart. Just a little bit longer and you would have been involuntarily giving yourself away. Imagining your limp body floating in the pool, you feel no desire to stay. You wait a little while, then go home. Fuck, I need all my willpower is shot. I'm gonna die. An urgent deal. It's an urgent deal. It is late. You are preparing to go home when a priest with a long staff walks into the print shop. You recognize him immediately. He's the abbot of the temple at the Silver Tree, the face of the new faith in Anazov, Father Leonard. I must apologize for visiting you at so late an hour. Still, I'm glad you're here, Theodore. I'm Father Leonard. You may have been to a sermon of mine, but I do not believe we've ever spoken in person. I come to you regarding a rather delicate matter, but I have been made aware that your print shop often deals in matters such as these. I believe you know that Cassius, Magra's current patriarch, has not recognized the new faith. Our numbers are great, but the patriarch thinks we are just another heretical sect. What does he teach? My teacher, Patriarch Photis, was betrayed and murdered before he could have his doctrine recognized. The light of the new faith struck fear into the hearts of his enemies. But I am determined to make sure Photis' teachings get the same recognition and respect in Magra as the teachings of Asacius. 1 month from today, and an important day for the new faith, the anniversary of Patriarch Photis' murder, I wish to gather my flock at the place of his true death to address Patriarch Cassius and demand recognition for our faith. If several thousand new believers gather in the city, the Patriarch will have no choice but to heed our call. But in order to bring all these people to Anazot, I need your help, Brant. I know you can not only print my appeal, but also distribute it throughout the province. In the city of Anazot, the new believers stand firmly united, but our brethren are isolated from one another in the rest of the province, and I have no way of reaching them through the temples. The Inquisition and the priests of the Old Faith will never let my summons spread throughout Magra, but you could achieve what I cannot. I've written my appeal down for you. Please print it and see that my summons spreads to every corner of Magra. I want every Magran new believer to realize that now is the time to stand up for our doctrine. I will summon them to the Silver Tree on the day of Photis' death. Patriarch Photis claimed that the truth that revealed itself to Asacius is not the only way to serve the twins. The doctrine of the new faith frees its followers from the strict shackles of the lots and teaches them to seek their own path to the peak of the shining pillar. Commoners free from the lots, refusing to do nothing but work and suffer. Lowly peasants claiming the right to rule and wage war. New believers ready to take up arms and fight for their faith. If they receive Father Leonard's summons, they will likely flock to the streets of Anazot. You glance over the handwritten page the abbot has given you. Brothers and sisters who have received the word of Patriarch Photis as your own new faith, you have been summoned. Come to the place where our teacher's life was tragically cut short on the day of his demise. We will meet there in the shade of the Silver Tree to honor the memory of Patriarch Photis and complete his life's work. We will make ourselves heard by Patriarch Cassius. We will demand that the church recognize the new faith as equal to the teachings of Saint Asacius. We will make camp in the city, and we will not leave until our demands are met. Father Leonard has a great following among the people. His summons could have significant repercussions in Anazon. What should you do? Contact the Inquisition. Inquisition moment. Theology 12. Very funny. Take advantage of his own sermon to recruit people into the last straw. Report Leonard to Philippe. Fulfill his request. Print the appeal and distribute it to Magra. Reputation -2. Damn. My reputation is shot. All other orders are cancelled. You focus all your efforts on printing Father Leonard's summons. Once the leaflets are done, they are spread throughout the province by people you trust. New believers soon begin to leave small Magran towns and villages and head to Anazon. The city authorities soon take note of the pilgrims arriving in greater numbers every day. 1 week before Patriarch Photis' memorial, the Anazot shuts its gates, but the thousands of new believers already inside its walls are outraged, and the gendarmes are forced to reopen the city. The Prefecture, the Inquisition, the Legion, none of them are ready to contend with masses of new believers united by common purpose. On the day of Patriarch Photis' death, Father Leonard addresses his flock with a sermon, and leads the inspired followers to the residence of Patriarch Cassius. One against an immense crowd, Cassius has no choice but to accept their demands. He recognizes the new faith as equal to the teachings of Saint Asatius, and grants the new faith priests in Magra freedom to preach their doctrine as they see fit. Most of the new believers soon leave the city for their homes. However, some commoners choose to remain in Anazot. These several days of sudden chaos have ruined several of the Secret Chancellery's best-laid plans. Your spy network's operations are also disrupted. What's more, the people eventually learn that your print shop was involved in the affair. As a consequence, your family falls out of favor with the gentry, who still respect the teachings of Asatius. Father Leonard and his flock, on the other hand, are sincerely grateful for your assistance. I could never have assembled so many people without your aid, Brant. If you ever need our help, we will gladly stand by your side. That's a schism, lads. That's a schism. Riots and mayhem, and we simply have no spy network anymore. I have a tarnished honor, but I'm a neophyte. Let it be known. We're gonna get some pop-ups here. At midnight. Oh god, okay, this is where I die. Now I die. It's early in the morning. You are at home. You hear a sudden knock at the door, followed by Mother's voice from the foyer. Theodore, you have a visitor. Oliver Moss appears in the doorway, flashing his predatory smile. What is he doing here? Morning, Theodore. I've got a letter for you about the print shop. Well, if it's about business, I'll leave you to it. Oliver follows your mother with a curious look, then leans on the doorframe and casts a searching glance over the house. You snag the message from his hands. You tell Oliver emphatically that he should not be here. Moss responds to your reproach with a meaningful nod at the letter. You hastily open the envelope. It's Philippe's handwriting. The letters are uneven. He has clearly raged when he wrote this. Enough! I'm done wasting time on you. Your family's safety isn't the gift from the twins, Brant. It's payment for a job well done. And you haven't done your job. You're nobody. Nothing but dirt beneath my feet, and it's high time I shook you off. Your spies get no results. I've been accused of dereliction of duty. My enemies mock me, and it's all because of you. You have 1 day to fix this, and you will fix it. You will present your solution to me by the roots of the Silver Tree at midnight tonight. Your time is up. Cold sweat runs down your back. Oliver takes the letter with a nonchalant gesture. He shrugs and mocks sympathy and leaves your house. Flee the city. I die 4 times, and then I just die. He doesn't kill me anyway! He can never kill me. He will never kill me. He simply can't kill me. You have no choice. You will have to relinquish part of the last shroud to Philippe. That's fine. 1 spy network point. -3 on rest sucks, though. Get manipulated. You spend the entire day pondering the decision you've made. You will save your own life, but it will cost you yet another betrayal. You head toward the Silver Tree as midnight approaches. However, everything is quiet. Giant roots, the lights of lanterns and torches. 5 men led by Moss meet you and stare at you intently. Philippe emerges from the darkness behind them. I'm glad you had senses left not to hide from me when in some cellar like a rat. Well? You tell Sir Philippe that you have a plan. He will get what he wants. The last straw has ties to freethinkers all over Magra. It will be easy to set up the meeting with leaders of underground organizations in Valona, Fabrine, and other towns. You will go there in person in order to maintain your cover. The Secret Chancellor will have no trouble arresting the insurgents. There will be enough of them to ensure that Sir Philippe's enemies will not dare accuse him of inaction. Alright, Brant, are threats really the only way to get anything useful out of you? These meetings are just as unpleasant for me as they are for you. Make sure I never have to threaten you again. I'll be waiting for you to give me the time and place, but you're on thin ice. Don't forget it. You may go. A week later, you watch from a safe distance as your comrades are taken into the prison wagon. They were the bravest members of the Last Straw. They were not afraid to defy the Empire despite living in small towns and villages where most commoners cannot imagine a life free of their lot. You have, with your own hands, sent them to a place from which they will never return. These local organizations were supposed to serve as the pillars of the revolt when it began. You will have to start recruiting outside of Anazot from scratch. It is awful to think the amount of time and effort it will take. Ah, shit. I gotta get that back up to 8. The lesser evil. Oh, it's Gloria's secret plot. A year has passed since the day Gloria asked for your protection. You've brought up her lowly position several times in conversations with Father, but every time his face darkens and he asks you to stop. You can feel Stefan's influence behind these refusals. Your only option is to wait for something to change. Meanwhile, emotions are running high in the family. Gloria disappears for days at a time. She's often seen in the company of young citizens of low estate. Father constantly lectures Gloria, telling her that her friends are libertines and troublemakers, and connections like these will be her downfall. Your sister obediently lends an ear to his speeches and vanishes again. You are relaxing in the bath after a long day when you suddenly hear rapid footsteps in the hallway and Stefan's angry voice. The door to the bathroom bursts open. It's always in the bathroom, man. It's always in the bathroom. Theodore, get dressed. We're waiting for you in the sitting room. It's urgent. Perplexed, you get out of the tub and make yourself presentable. Father and Stefan are waiting for you in the sitting room. Gloria is huddled in a chair in the corner. Your elder brother swiftly locks the door behind you. This bodes ill. So I was on my way to the ball at the El Liberius Mansion. I was already on their doorstep when a servant told me that he had been ordered to turn me away. They will not have anything to do with a family whose offspring is a member of a secret society. Father, Theodore, whom do you suppose they meant? Gloria looks at Stefan defiantly, her lips pursed tightly. This is the last straw. You will make pariahs of us all, Gloria. I will not allow you to ruin everything Sir Gregor worked for. Stefan is nearly screaming, but then he pulls himself together and continues in a more composed manner. I'm afraid Lady Gloria cannot remain in this house, but being honorable people, we must provide for her future. Sir Jose El Pelletier is willing to take her as his lawful wife. Gloria, will you be accepted into a household of nobles of the sword? I have been negotiating with your suitor for quite some time. Who gave you the right to decide my fate behind my back? You aren't even the head of the family. Gloria, you must abide by the decisions of your elders. This family has done so much for you already. Now I'm even going to provide you with a good match, but you're acting like a spoiled child. You will be a nobleman's wife, you fool. You'll be able to write your poems, you'll want for nothing, you'll be able to enjoy your life. Sir El Pelletier has been hounding me for a year now. I can't believe he's in love with me, a lowly common girl. Sure, he's easy on the eyes, he's a skilled warrior and a respected nobleman, but he needs a wife to give birth to his heirs, follow him around obediently at social gatherings, and praise his chivalry. Can't you see that I don't belong in his family? Stuff of nonsense. Father, here is a letter to the El Pelletiers. Sign it as the head of the family. We should invite our future relatives to our house and introduce ourselves to Gloria's future husband and his parents. I hope that Theodore will do his part as well. Father reluctantly skims the letter and frowns. Stefan, why have you never spoken to me about a matter of such importance? No match can be made without my consent. Have I announced my wish for Gloria to be married? Father, she leaves us no choice. You know that we cannot make Gloria a brant, but our family reputation still suffers because of her rebellious ways. Don't you see that this marriage will benefit everyone? Gloria springs to her feet, choked with rage. You do anything to prevent me from joining this family. This marriage will bring nothing but sorrow to me and Sir El Pelletier. All you ever think about is your own interests. Ingrate! I'm looking out for you, and this is how you repay me. Or would you prefer to cast out for your disgraceful antics? Would prefer to be cast out for your disgraceful antics. Damn. Father, please sign the letter and free us from this debacle once and for all. Gloria rushes towards you in desperation and clasps your hand. Brother, please, you promised you'd never let them kick me out. Challenge Stefan to a duel. Duel impending. Say nothing. Put pressure on Father. Unity -2. Gloria's at home. Stefan's bad blood. Yeah? That's fine. Father hesitates, watching Stefan and Gloria argue, but you're certain that he will most likely take your advice. Pointedly turning away from Stefan, you address your father. What is happening? How has Stefan assumed power in the family? What gives him the right to make decisions about Gloria's future? Rage slowly boils in your father's eyes. You zealously add fuel to the fire. Your passionate speech continues. Father made his decision when he accepted Gloria into his home with her mother. It was grandfather who tried to oust them both from his home for the crime of their low birth. The old man may be resting in his tomb, but his machinations have been taken over by his favorite grandson, Stefan. Father has surely had enough of his tyranny under his own roof. He was right to choose his own family. Father slams his fist on the table. Stefan instinctively steps back. Gloria gives the head of the house a full look of hope. You are right, Theodore. Enough. I did not earn the noble lot to be ordered around. Stefan, I am the head of this household. You are not Gregor Brandt, and you never will be. He takes the letter to the groom's family and tears it to shreds. Stefan's face grows crimson. He can barely contain his rage. If you cannot keep the family in check and defend our honor, Father, then I will have to do it myself. Stefan's words send you into a long, vehement speech. How dare he? Father has dedicated his entire life to his family. Only he knows what is best for it. You're right, Theodore. My fear of your grandfather was too strong, but those days are over. Gloria is Lydia's daughter, the daughter of my wife, and she's my daughter as well. Gloria is shaking now. She cannot believe her ears. Father, what are you saying? Come to your senses. Your dishonor will ruin our entire family. Father does not dignify Stefan's words with a response. His eyes are fixed solely on Gloria. Dishonor does not frighten me. Gossip does not frighten me. Come to me, my daughter, Gloria Brandt. Gloria falls on her adopted father's shoulders, racked with silent tears. Father! You join their embrace. Gloria squeezes your hand in hers, your sister's eyes glimmering with joy and gratitude. The door slams loudly. Stefan rushes down the steps, saddles his horse, and is gone. A long time passes before he returns. Secret plot. At home. He hates me. Quarrels and feuds. We've got 2 years left before the rights. A banner year. That's right! That's right! That's right. That's a profitable business. You head to the print shop in the morning and sit down at your desk to go over the books. The ledger's a mess. Your employers have made their entire entry sloppily and is often in haste. It takes you a long time to make sense of it all. You spend the entire day comparing documents and analyzing numbers. In the evening, once everything is added up, you finally determine that the print shop's revenue has increased over the last year. It has usually been barely enough to keep the business running, but lately, book printing and other orders have been extremely lucrative. You walk home at that night with several heavy coin purses hanging from your belt. +3! Oh! Maybe we'll be an industrialist, since I can't trust Sophia to do a rebellion. Later, phone. Have a good one. After many years, the simmering, unceasing hostilities between Overseer Gaius Tempest and Archduke Melanidas has finally come to an end. The Archduke has abandoned all attempts to collect additional taxes from the people. By my grace, I hereby release the common people of Magra from the Archduke's tax. All hail the dynasty of Melanidas, which has protected you since time immemorial. The farmers and merchants can finally have a sigh of relief. Unexpectedly, the Archduke soon withdrew from all provincial affairs, sequestering himself in his ancestral castle of Serpenverda. The gentry who remain loyal to the Archduke are baffled. Has he accepted defeat at the hands of the Overseer? Or is it just an elaborate ruse? Either way, with the Archduke out of the picture, the senior gentry of Magra have lost some of their influence to the Overseer and his retinue of budding dynasties and nobles of the mantle. The feud between the two Archnean rulers has ended, but the noble estates has been split nonetheless. The common people see this as yet another reason to demand change. Wealth and security has increased. Commoners are in power. That's a dangerous hole. Now that Archduke Melanidas has yielded in his struggle for power, the city of Anazad is enjoying a moment of respite. But your gut tells you to stay on your guard. The powerful Archnean noble has relinquished some of his power, and someone will surely make an attempt to seize it. You tell your people to watch the city closely and report anything even slightly suspicious to you right away. At first, they mistake your unease for unfounded paranoia, but your gut feeling soon proves to be true. Late one night, Alida barges into the print shop, clearly excited. Wilde's found something big. You gotta see this. She takes you to the north gate. Wilde is waiting for you in the dark back street next to a sizable wooden crate. The old man lifts the heavy lid with a groan. Here, my friend, take a look. You take a step closer and freeze involuntarily. Alida manages a nervous chuckle. Wilde wipes beads of sweat from his brow. Inside the crate are at least 24 gunpowder muskets, along with bullet pouches full of lead balls. With a couple of kegs of gunpowder, this would be enough to arm a full squad. Can I even get it, since I don't have the unrest? Please, God. Okay, I still can. Of course we will seize the guns. You cannot help but recall the convicts' revolt in Illyria 3 years ago. Nowadays, anyone even suspected of owning a firearm similar to the guns they used is sent to the gallows at once. Where did Fouad find all this? The old man lifts a finger, eager to enlighten you. So I was doing my watch, just like you asked. It's a nice little place by the gate. And then I see a loaded wagon with 3 sturdy fellows on it. They look every bit like the ordinary workmen, except there's something funny about them. They keep whispering and fidgeting, all odd-like, so I think maybe they're the last straw, right? Wanted to hush them, tell them to calm down, but the twins told me I'd better wait. And then bam! They got stopped by a patrol. The gendarmes keep asking them questions. Before you know it, they ask to see what's in the crate. Well, then that was that. The youngsters were all over the gendarme before I could blink, and they did a real number on them, I tell you what. The gendarme barely managed to cry for help before they all got knocked out. Then the guys started bickering. They ended up dumping the crate down an alley and scattering. The gendarme came to and stumbled after them. Everybody forgot about the crate. I thought I ought to see what all the fuss was about. When I saw what was in there, I dragged the crate off to the side and called for you right away. You give the packing crate a closer look and notice a trademark branded on the side. This is a crate from one of Mayor Egmont's mines. They usually contain silver. So Egmont is smuggling firearms into the city now, and men who know about it are being hunted by the prefecture. They will not be able to hide for long. And once they are finally caught, it will not be long before Philippe hears about these weapons. You stare at the guns lost in thought. Where did Egmont procure these weapons? Are there any more of them stashed throughout the city? You might not have all the answers, but you still have to do something. Not gonna report it. Not gonna inform. Keep Egmont's secret safe. Oh, yes. Seize the guns. I would like a stockpile of them. Mayor Egmont is arrested, though. With the gunpowder, you can use these weapons to arm a squad of the last straw members personally loyal to you. Take the weapons back to him, then make sure you... Oh, I really want the guns, man. But I really need this free city. Let's see. All right to the Empire. Huh. Free city. I'm not sure if I'll be safe if I do free city though. I did all that work to get the guns, man. A squad of rebels loyal to you, though. I did all that work to get the guns. I don't want to get Mayor Egmont arrested, though. I would like a free city. But how does this end if I just get the guns? No, I'm gonna keep Egmont. Yeah. Sorry. Damn. Alright. Because I can't really trust Sophia anymore. You tell Alita and Flau to find the smugglers as soon as possible. Then you use all your people to distract the gendarmes for the chase. The smugglers need to escape pursuit no matter the cost. And when we find them, what will we do with them? We are to take them to a safe house, by force if need be. And the guns? We will return the guns to their rightful owner. Flau and Alita nod knowingly and hurry away. Once you're alone, you conceal the crate from prying eyes and walk to Egmont's house. Egmont opens the door himself, still bleary-eyed. He looks surprised. Theodore, you have any idea how late it is? You walk in without waiting for an invitation. This matter's too important for politeness. You quickly inform him about the crate of guns and the smugglers on the run from the prefecture and the last straw. If Sir Egmont wants to keep his secrets hidden from his worst enemies, he needs to explain himself. There seems to be some kind of misunderstanding here. You repeat the question more forcefully. Now is not the time to hem and haw. Egmont is planning an armed revolt. He needs to tell it to you straight. He made a big mistake by keeping you out of the loop. Fine, Brant, you're right. Your friend Sophia talked me into it. She claims the revolt will fail without good weapons, no matter how just our cause. The people need something that will enable them to stand their ground against the noble militia and the Legion. Firearms are our best option. She told me to keep it secret and tell no one. So, you didn't know? You can keep your eyes trained on Egmont, but he seems to be telling the truth. Does Philippe know? No. Even he would never. You tell Egmont to keep talking. Sophia made a deal with someone in Illyria. I don't know who. I'm just a middleman. My men take the guns, bring them to the city, and leave them for Sophia's people to stash somewhere. I hesitated when she told me, Theodore, but these guns are the people's only chance at victory. We had to do it. Egmont's voice trails off. You tell him where to find the crate. His men will return shortly. He can now rest easy now. His secret, Sophia's secret, is safe with you. You have my thanks, Theodore. I'm truly sorry we didn't trust you with this right away. I'm sure Sophia only kept you out of it to keep the plan safe. The fewer people know about it, the less risk there is. With that, you leave the house and return to the moonlit streets of Amazon. Somewhere in the city are dozens of gun stashes waiting, hidden, and when the time comes, the common estate will take up arms, and then there will be blood. Alright. That's the deathbed. Deafening silence fills your home. You're standing by Mother's bedside, so are Father, Gloria, and Nathan. For an entire day, Mother has been feverish, barely conscious. Gloria never leaves her side, not even for a minute. Nathan has even stopped drinking so he can offer your sister his awkward help. Mother's health deteriorated greatly over the past year, and fighting in the family home has great a dealt blow to her. She's been bedridden for a month. You've been to every doctor and folk healer, but no one can help. They all tell you the same thing. Lady Lydia's life is in the hands of the twins now. If she passes away, she will not come back. And so you wait by Mother's bed in sorrow, hoping that she will regain consciousness. There's a long silence, but no one has the courage to break. Then, at last, you hear Nathan's weak voice. Mother, it's me, Nathan. Can you hear me? Mother suddenly rises on her elbows. She looks around, her eyes unseeing, beads of sweat forming on her pale forehead. My son, where are you? Nathan takes Mother by her thin, emaciated hand. She leans closer to look at him, struggling to recognize his face. Stefan, were you playing with your younger brothers in the garden? You must be all dirty. Come here. You may not be my son, but I care for you as though you were my own. Ah, what a nice, happy family we have. A blessing from the twins. Nathan is unsure what to do or say. Father strokes his wife's hair. His eyes are two orbs of searing, indescribable pain. You're a little confused, Lydia. This is Nathan. The children are all grown up now, remember? Mother's eyes were bright and alive just now, but the next moment they grow dim again. Her head falls weakly back onto the pillow. You're right, my husband. The children grew up, but I was never able to teach them how to live in peace with each other. I let you down, Robert. You made a mistake when you took me into your home. You saved my daughter and me from a life of poverty. How did I repay you? Gloria, I cannot take it anymore. What are you saying, Mother? Don't you dare blame yourself. You did your best. You did all you could. Father looks away, unable to hold back the deluge of tears. Mother's voice, so faint now, calls out to you. And Theodore, where is he? Great care you move closer to Mother. You answer her quietly. You're here, right by her side. Theodore, I'm so happy to know you're here. I always knew greatness awaited you, ever since you were a little boy. What a shame I won't be there to see it. I couldn't save the Brant family. I will face my punishment at my final judgment. But worry not, my dears. I'm ready to stand before the twins. Lydia Brant's voice trails off. No longer a voice, just a final whisper of life. Will you accept your mother's death? Will you find a way to fight for her? Share your strength would require unity and willpower. Unite the family would require unity. Damn. Accept this loss. Unity -2, willpower -10. Damn. Everybody hates me. Kind of snowballs, doesn't it? Your heart aches and grows numb as you realize the inevitable. There's nothing you can do to help your dying mother. There's nothing that would give her strength. Your family's grown weak from all the spite and strife that's filled your home. Even now on Mother's deathbed, you can feel the enmity, disappointment, and anger driving your family apart. Children, accept this humbly. Her voice trails off, her eyes grow dull. Her cold hands release yours, fall into the bed, and grow still. The last emotion on Mother's face is a sadness born of exhaustion. A scream of despair rips itself out of Gloria's throat. We did this to her. We fought so much that we killed her. Me, Stefan, Theodore. Nathan yelps with grief. He runs away howling. Father slowly sits and takes his late wife's hands in his. His tears flow no more. His eyes stare far into the distance, empty and bleak. Lydia. You mourn her together, but alone. You leave the house to roam the garden, empty and numb. Mother has left the world for the peak of the pillar to face the twins' judgment. She spent all her life preparing for this journey. But now her mortal life is ended. She's no longer here. Never again will she gather her family at the table. Never again will she offer a word of solace in trying times. Never again will she greet you with her quiet, humble smile. You bury your face in your hands. Lydia Brant, your mother, has left this world. I'm fucking exhausted. Your mother lost her fight to severe illness. She will never return from the hereafter. Damn, dude. I fucked this whole run up. But I got a successful business going. Uh-oh, a broken branch. The sitting room is brightly illuminated by dozens of candles. Today, the tapestry bearing the Brant family crest, an oak branch wrapped in chains, hangs above the fireplace. The petitions have been granted and the paperwork is ready. Today, Gloria will join the Brant family and become your father's lawful daughter. The entire family has gathered together except for Stefan. Ever since you and Gloria got your way, your elder brother has spent less and less time at home, preferring to take prolonged trips or visit his noble friends. Gloria is standing by the fireplace, clothed in a modest black dress, quite unlike her usual trousers and men's jacket. Even her hair is braided today. For the sake of this momentous occasion, she's behaving as reservedly as she can, though she often glances at you with gratitude. Father steps forward solemnly and makes a speech as the family watches in profound silence. Come closer, Gloria, and become a branch of the Brant family tree. Gloria kneels humbly before the man she has called Sir Robert all her life. He holds his hand in front of her face as the ceremony demands. From this day forth, you shall be a full member of this family, your fate now bound with ours. Wear your name with honor, and may the Brant family prosper with you. Gloria leaves a final kiss on the fingers of his outstretched hand. Now rise, Gloria Brant. Slowly, gracefully, confidently, Gloria rises to her feet for the first time since childhood. She looks and seems like your older sister with a smile, Father at last embraces his adopted daughter as a parent. Gloria warmly responds to his embrace, then hurries to you. Theodore, we're legally brother and sister now. I owe it all to you. I swear I'll never forget what you've done for me. I promise I'll be more careful from now on. I'll only do what's best for the family whose name I bear. You answer her without hesitation. Gloria has always been your family. All you did was make it official. Your sister squeezes your hand in excitement. This is her day, the day she's been waiting for all her life. Loud, thudding steps echo into the foyer. The door swings open. Stefan stands on the doorstep. Your elder brother, now haggard-looking and covered in dust of the road, casts a tired gaze over the faces of the family gathered around the fireplace. So, seems I've arrived at the very moment of triumph. Would you look at that? Already celebrating the day the Brant family lost its honor, are you? Gloria stands between you and him, brave and confident, hands on her hips. She has no reason to be afraid of Stefan's fury now. We're celebrating the fact that no member of this family can now toss another member out onto the street. Stefan allows himself a bitter chuckle. Gloria, how typical of you. You've cut off your nose to spite your face, and my brother Theodore's just the same. You've all rubbed our bloodline of our noble future. You've ruined everything Sir Gregor Brant paid for in sweat and blood. If it weren't for him, we would have nothing. Stefan's face grows crimson as he says these words. It takes him a moment, albeit a brief one, to compose himself and continue. But what's done is done. Our honor is already lost. From now on, I will have no further connection to your family. I'm leaving for the capital. Nothing will ever make me visit this home again. I suppose it's time for my farewells now. Stefan, wait, don't be ridiculous. You're still my eldest son and heir. And what, pray tell, am I to inherit, father? You've robbed us all of our hereditary titles right when it was within our grasp. But I don't blame you. You're just a victim of my brother's schemes. Or do you disagree, Theodore? Stefan delivers his furious tirade from a doorway one step away from leaving. What will you tell Stefan before he departs forever? Maintain family ties? Not quite. Sever all ties with Stefan. Oh, we are at now 0 unity. And 0 reputation. I become heir. Very funny. And then Robert hates me. Coldly, you snap back at Stefan that if the title was all your brother ever wanted from this family, then he doesn't deserve to bear the family name. All Stefan has brought to the Brant family is strife, animosity, and scorn. For the sake of his ambition, he was ready and willing to sacrifice anything, anyone, and all under the pretense of protecting his family. Good riddance, there's no place for him here. Stefan meets your lengthy speech with a surprising call. When you're done, a bitter grin appears on his face once again. You will never understand what it means to be a nobleman, Theodore, but you are right about one thing. This is no longer my concern. It's high time I did something for myself. I'm still the son of Amelia Alborn. Should I ask my uncle Sir Alborn to grant me his family name, he will not refuse me. I shall forge a new fate for myself, one without any of you in it. Stefan studies each of you as though trying his best to remember this moment forever. His face reflects a fleeting moment of regret, but it's quickly replaced by decisiveness. I cannot reject this blood tide. It flows in my veins now, but I can reject all of you. Sir Robert Brant, you are no longer my father or my patriarch. Theodore, Nathan, you are my brothers no more, and I will make sure everyone knows it. Stefan removes a ring bearing the family seal from his finger and hurls it into the roaring fire. Then he glances at each of you one last time before turning away and walking briskly outside. A moment later, you hear hooves clattering against cobblestones growing quieter as they recede into the distance. And then, a long silence marred only by the crackling of a fireplace. Father collapses into a chair, overcome with grief. My eldest son has rejected our family. Ye gods, what did I do to anger you so? Gloria steps carefully toward her foster father. Her hand comes to rest on his shoulder. He puts it to his face as the tears begin to flow. I hope Stefan would come to accept our decision, but a hereditary title means more to him than our family's happiness. We won't make the same mistake he did. We will weather the scorn of the noble families with dignity. We will remain united in this home no matter what. Yes, father, that we will. Your family does their best to console each other, but the celebration is ruined. Eventually you go to your room to sleep, but a flood of memories keeps slumbering at bay. You remember Stefan leading you by the hand through the yard. You remember sitting at the big table on the porch, poking each other in the arm. You remember marching through the streets of Anazat at night, looking for Gloria. And now Stefan has left his family home in Anazat, never to return. This is the last you will ever hear of the man who used to be your elder brother. Bad blood. Severed all ties. Oh. The family hates itself. The reputation is disgraced. But I am heir to the family. True. Congratulations, Gloria. Stefan has been exiled, left the home of the Brant, and went to seek his fortunes in the capital. Dang. Dankle. Family of strife. Family has fallen apart. The tensions at home has become insufferable. Everyone in your family has been driven to the brink by the unending bickering and fighting. Even the smallest family matter is bound to provoke hours of arguments and a drove of mutual insults. Tonight, you can already hear it from the doorstep. Screams of fury, shrill sobbing. You watch your father run down the stairs. He's absolutely livid. Twins grant me strength. How am I even supposed to get along with my own family now? You ask what brought it on this time, but all your question does is draw father's ire upon you. Of course you have no idea what's going on. You're doing nothing, Theodore. Nothing at all to return peace to this family. You're just fanning the flames. Father steps on himself before he utter another word. He hurries to his study. The door shuts and locks. At last, the house is quiet, but it's far from calm. Jesus. Well, Gloria still likes me a little. I'm out of willpower. It's gone. It's all gone. Oh, reputation 0. God damn, dude. I'm trying my best. All we have is money. All we have is money. The only thing that's ever mattered. The Brant family is no more. Thank goodness. Get it out of here, dude. Recent events have dealt a crushing blow to the reputation of the Brant family. You've slipped into the realm of infamy and disgrace. So far, the noble families of the city have patiently endured your transgression, but now you've lost face in their eyes. Noble society is eager to bring your every dusty scandal back into the light, old offensive, ancient grievances, and naturally, father's marriage to Lydia Brant and Gloria's ignoble origins. And they have surely not forgotten that the sons of Robert and Lydia Brant, Theodore and Nathan, were born out of wedlock. None of the nobles will ever say this to your face, of course. Their behavior will seem perfectly ordinary on the surface. No matter where you go now, you will be followed by scornful glances and dismissive whispers. We have to accept this and humbly bear this burden. All hope of being ennobled by the sword is lost. No matter what we do to restore our name, we will never wash away this mark of dishonor. Hatred. My wealth! Branded by dishonor. The Brant name is dragged through the dirt, never to recover. It's okay. We got a shitload of money. It's not that big of a deal. Where is my family stats at? Wish I had some damn willpower. Repentance. The last few months have been marked by a welcome absence of quarreling at the Brant estate. Your only concern these days is the price you have had to pay for this peace. Today you come home late, wrung dry after a day of work and worry. Everyone is sound asleep. You're making your way to your bedroom when you hear a suspicious noise coming from Father's study. It's too late for Father to be working. You go to the door of the study, trying to tread softly and turn the knob. The room is brightly lit by the moon. You recognize your brother's clumsy silhouette above Father's desk in the moonlight. Nathan hears you come in and leaps to the side in fear. You see something glinting in his hands. Father's dagger. No, Theodore, it's you. Shush. You just took the dagger for a moment. Don't worry. I know holding weapons against my lot. I don't mean anyone any harm. It's for me, actually. I have to go to the twins. The younger brother clumsily turns the dagger around, holding it against his own body. You try to remain still. Nathan wants to take his own lives, but why? Not even sure how to say it, brother. I just can't find a place in this world. I'm always an outsider, always a waste of space. Isn't there some place for me in the twins' design? I can't stop thinking about it. I've been trying to understand them for so long. How am I supposed to live in their world? What's my place in their great plan? I've only made things worse. I meddled with the Marknian sect, defied and rejected my lot, indulged in vice, but I found nothing there. The old faith, the new faith, Father Mark's heresy, they gave me all sorts of answers, but none of them worked. There's nothing else left for me now. I've got to go see the twins myself and ask them. I know I'm an affront to their plan just because I'm alive, but I'll repent. I'll pray for their forgiveness. But the twins never forgive, you tell Nathan softly. They never have, and they never will. You will be judged in the hereafter for every false step you take. Your younger brother sighs heavily. I know. Mother taught us all that our lives... all our lives. But I still have to try. There's no other way. One of my lives isn't too big a price if it works. I can't find any use for them anyway. See you soon, brother. Hope it'll be different when I come back. A cloud passes over the moon. Father's study grows dark, illuminated only by the shining light of the distant pillar. I can't stop him anyway. I have no theology. Nathan's body contorts awkwardly. He raises the dagger, aiming it at his own heart. I already have no willpower. You take a step back. The life that Nathan is about to take belongs to him. He's free to do with it as he pleases. May he finally find an end to his desperate search for meaning. Nathan whispers a word of gratitude barely audible, then a sharp exhale as he gets ready to strike. His hand guides the dagger awkwardly through the air and into his chest. The sharp tip reluctantly sinks into his flesh. A weak yelp escapes Nathan's throat. He staggers and falls, blood oozing out of the wound. Moments pass and Nathan's body dissipates as his mortal frame dissolves. He then departs to commune with the twins. What awaits him in the hereafter? You pick up Father's dagger, carefully wipe it clean, and put it in the drawer where his desk where it belongs. When the skies begin to grow bright before the dawn, you go to the family crypt to welcome your brother back. Nathan's already there, lying on top of the granite slab. Even made anew. His naked body is just as thin, awkward, and feeble. He suddenly stands when he hears your footsteps. His eyes are shining with an otherworldly light. I spoke to them, brother. I dared to address them as my soul rose up. I begged the twins for forgiveness, and they heard me. They did. And the elder, he reached out to me. He wanted to respond to me. I know he did. But the younger sword stopped us. It cut the bond between us, and I fell. But I saw compassion in the elder's eyes as I fell, and he followed me. He shall descend into the lands again. He shall witness our suffering and bring his mercy. And then the world will change at last. Your younger brother shivers, almost convulsing with cold. You wrap him in a black cloak. Together, you return home before sunrise. No one in your family ever learns of Nathan's lesser death. Nathan stops wasting time in taverns with suspicious characters. He spends every day in ardent prayer, again and again. His quiet voice speaks of the elder's coming return. The family watches the drastic change in their wayward son with great surprise. I am out of energy. It's almost time for the revolt, and I'm exhausted already. I'm hoping it was worth it. Not for want, I'm going to die. A storm on the horizon! Best I can do is get an independent city-state. We'll see if I even make it out alive, though. For over a year now, Anazat has been steadily simmering with unrest like a soup pot over a well-stoked flame. Commoners flock to the square in droves. The mobs grow bolder, demanding new freedoms and protection under the law. The last-straw insurgents commit brazen acts hoping to overthrow the authorities. The noble gentry insisted that every mob be dispersed by force. They're ready to fight for their ancient privilege, sword in hand. In spite of this enormous pressure, Overseer Gaius Tempest remains highly reluctant to allow any bloodshed. What's up with that? What's up with this guy? It's funny. Excuse me. Excuse me. What? But the common people are already too desperate. Even the age-old fear of the nobility's might is barely enough to keep them in check. More and more people are rejecting the lots and converting to the new faith. Not to mention other, stranger, more esoteric teachings and beliefs. New secret societies and clandestine gatherings appear every day. Printed pamphlets litter the streets. Yet no one is rushing to subdue the citizens or punish the city, for now. Father Leonard has transformed the Temple of the Silver Tree into a new believer stronghold. He's no longer afraid to break the ban on preaching the new faith. His sermons now openly challenge the old faith. It seems the Church of the Twins is unable to recognize its great mistake. The lots must be abandoned as relics of the past. The Twins granted everyone the freedom to choose their own path in this world. I will not stop until this freedom is recognized throughout the Empire. The next Patriarch of Magra must be chosen by the parish, not the clergy. This is the will of the Twins, and it must be ours as well. Leonard intends to amend the old order of the Church and become Patriarch. His opponents, however, are beset by internal struggle and strife. The Inquisition is fighting a myriad of heresies, more of which appear every day. Not even the highest ranks of the faith are free from suspicion. The new faith, meanwhile, is steadily growing in numbers. People no longer fear being damned to the foot of the pillar for rejecting the divine design. The streets are restless and dangerous. Minds and souls are beset by confusion. The authorities argue and bicker among themselves. Conspiracies plague the city. Time marches on and change is coming. It cannot be stopped. Can you find a way to guide it in the right direction? The weight of a new age now rests upon your shoulders. That's schism. A family map. Jesus Christ. Never ending with this fucking family shit, man. For over a year now, Anazat has been slowly simmering with unrest. The feud between the estates, between the old faith and the new, between the law of the Empire and noble traditions, tensions are at an all-time high, waiting for the slightest spark to catch fire and burn. Even your family's affairs have been affected by the growing unrest. It's during these troublous times that the future of your family will be decided. Father shakes you awake early in the morning. He's excited, clutching a letter bearing the imperial seal of the Tempest dynasty. Wake up, son. Come to the sitting room. A letter has come from Overseer Gaius Tempest. He gingerly breaks the seal and unfolds the missive. To the honorable Brant family, I, Gaius of the Tempest dynasty, Overseer of the province of Magra, have given due consideration to your petition to have your bloodline ennobled by the sword. You're expected in 1 week at Castle Annery, as are all petitioners for the sword, where you shall hear my decision firsthand. After finishing the letter, Father turns to you and looks fatigued. Well, son, it's time for us to be honest with each other about our family. What do you have to say about this? Where do we, the Brants, stand after so many years? What hopes do we have for the future of the family? The past 7 years have been marked by many life-changing events, the rare joys, the frequent fights, the arguments, the attempts at peace, the losses. Sometimes you have managed to change their minds, and sometimes you have not, but your decisions have made you realize what matters most to you. The future of the Brant family must be decided here and now. Come, nobles of the sword. My wealth is over 5. But the Brant family is in ruins. Become members of the Overseer's entourage. Preserve the family. Sever all ties with the family. Brant family is a family in name only. There's no reason to stay together anymore. The family falls apart. Yeah, but I shouldn't lose 2 wealth over it. You coldly point out that the family's chance for a hereditary title is long gone, and the family itself, why? It all but disintegrated years ago. You failed to quell the strife at home, you could not snuff the coals of enmity that slowly turned your family into disjointed clumps of ash. All attempts to put the family's affairs in order have led to naught. And now it's time to admit that the Brant family is no more. There's a deep pain in Father's eyes as he meets your gaze, but he does not argue. Which is why you continue. It would only be reasonable to sever what remains of your family's tie. It is for your own good. You have all been strangers for a long time. You may live under the same roof, but you're no family. It's time to end these frantic attempts to fix that which is already beyond repair. Nothing good will come of it. Father's silent. A long moment passes before he speaks. As much as it saddens me to say this, you're right, son. We failed. I failed as the family patriarch, and I failed my lot. I was chasing after a lofty position and neglecting all the troubles in our family. I tried to please everyone, and I let everyone down. All I can say is that your grandfather was right about everything. Put your hand on your father's shoulder. It's not his fault alone, you tell him. All of you made mistakes. You, too, bear a sizable share of the blame. But I am the patriarch no matter what. I am responsible for this family. What a disgrace. What an embarrassment I am. Father hides his face in his hands. Takes him a while to stifle his silent sobs and muster enough strength to continue. But enough weakness. It's time to accept the inevitable. The family's gone. We must all seek out our own fortunes. I will cut my post at the prefecture and leave Anazot. The city's grown far too unsettled as of late. But if any of you ever want to visit my home, my door will be open to you. You leave Father alone with his grief in the sitting room. There is nothing you can do to help him now. You begin to pack your things. It's time to move out of the house that stopped being your home long ago. You will rent a lodging for now, and then we'll see what comes next. Carriage awaits you at the gate. You take one last look at your parents' house, the place that was your home and shelter for so many years. Your childhood games in the garden, your loud, happy dinners, your quiet conversations on the porch, the warm embrace of your family. It's time to leave it all behind. You offer your family no farewells as you depart. There's no longer a part of your life. From this day forward, you must fend for yourself. The family falls apart. The Brant family is no more. I did everything I could to not care about them. Dude, damn. An explosion. The event is a consequence of your previous actions. Sophia has the gunpowder. Sophia is not betrayed, but there is unrest. Oh. Okay. That works. But it's not one of these, which is interesting. A deafening rumble, the tinkling of broken glass, the pavement shudders beneath your feet, another explosion. Sophia, what has she done? You struggle to understand what is going on. People stare in horror at the white cloud rising slowly above downtown Anazot. Magistrate El Vermin's mansion. You run toward it. The impact of the explosion is visible from several districts away. Houses and fences are crooked, and the grotesque mosaic of shattered glass litters the street. Shrieks of terror, moans of pain. The air is still. A massive cloud of dust and gunpowder smoke blankets the entire noble district. People stumble out of the haze covered in gray dust that look like shadows. Everything seems colorless, only the blood oozing from the victim's wounds is of vivid scarlet hue. A crowd of onlookers has already gathered around the ruins of El Vermin's mansion. You notice Alita among them. She can hardly suppress a smile. This is the most powerful blow against the tyranny of the Empire I've ever seen. Where the magistrate's mansion once stood, there's now only a gaping hole full of rubble. Ripped from the ground by the blast, the pavement around the house resembles cracked eggshells. The neighboring homes have lost their exterior walls and their rooms are exposed. Gendarmes pull the bodies of those who met their true death out of the wreckage, wrap them in a coarse fabric, and load them onto wagons. You feel sick. You've never seen so many dead bodies before. Mutilated in the explosion, they look only vaguely human. You force yourself not to avert your gaze. How many of them deserve this? How many just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time? Servants, coachmen, simple passersby. Most of them must have been quite old, but still. Did they really have to fall victim to Sophia's plot? Sophia chose the perfect target. The murder of Vermin, an extremely powerful nobleman of ancient lineage, will not only remind the simple folk that the last straw is fighting tyranny, it will also instill fear in the defenders of the Empire. Did you make the wrong choice? Should you have refused Sophia and prevented this disaster? It's too late to change anything now. Oh, Vermin's dead! True death! Oh shit, he's gone! Wogue! That's riots and mayhem, baby! Magistrate died in an explosion arranged by Sophia. Nice job, girl. I should have trusted her all along. A sleepless night. Even late at night, the streets of Anazot echo with chatter. The city cannot sleep, you cannot sleep tonight either. Advisor El Faro sent you a surprising note a few hours ago. He's coming. You hear slow, steady footsteps accompanied by the tapping of a cane. There's a knock at the door. Philippe enters the print shop. Sophia quietly follows him in. You exchange a nod. The print shop's crowded despite the late hour. Father Fouad, Alita, and the other workers observe Philippe uneasily. Oliver's there too. He acknowledges the Baron with a polite nod. You suddenly realize that Philippe no longer cares at all if the last straw members see his face. You walk into your office with Philippe and Sophia, then lock the door. Well then, Brant, I hope your people are ready. It's time to put your plan into action. They're ready, just give us the word. Excellent, excellent. Soon our song of victory will reach its final note. Our road has been a long one, much longer than we thought, but now the end is in sight. I had a word with the Overseer, and in the end I managed to convince him that the Elborn simply cannot maintain order in Anazot. We are just one step away from being granted special authority for the Secret Chancellery. All we need is an excuse for action. Prepare your people and take to the streets. When I finally get the authority, we will eliminate each and every traitor to the Empire. Egmont, Lennart, Elborn, all of them. But those scum will probably try to flee Anazot. I'll need your people you've recruited throughout Magra, Sophia. There are more than enough of them. I'm glad to hear that. How much time do you need to prepare, Brant? You shift your gaze from Philippe to Sophia. She's been standing behind him all this time, a silent shadow with her head held high, her eyes trained on you. Philippe's cane taps the floor impatiently. He's waiting for an answer. The advisor's right. The day you have worked for all these years has finally come. Are you ready? What will you do now? Murder him. Oh, Sophia's not my secret lover or gives me a secret plot. Damn! Chance to break free of the Secret Chancellery and spark a real revolt in Anazot. Yeah, we can't do the revolt then. Proceed with Philippe's plan. Go into hiding. Ask Egmont to hide me. Yeah, I guess so. Ask Vermin to hide me. Yeah. 2 days, you tell him. 2 days ought to be enough. Very well, you will have 2 days. You get your people ready, and I'll get mine ready. I need the names of every leader in your freak show, as well as the streets they'll be marching on. And finally, Sir Alfaro leaves. As the door closes behind him, Sophia lights the pipe she's been stuffing with tobacco since she arrived. Smoke billows out of her mouth, concealing her expression. Well then, Theodore, guess this is it. No, you tell her, this is only the beginning. And Sophia knows why. Enough games. You know about her firearms and her ties to Egmont. Sophia takes another drag from her pipe. She slowly exhales a cloud of yellowish smoke. And since Philippe is still none the wiser, I take it you don't want to follow through with the plan with his plan of his, right? Right. Sophia has trusted you. Has to trust you. You sided with Egmont into this struggle, and you are all in this together. Sophia grins. Sure. Go pay Egmont a visit. My men and my guns are at your disposal. I'll keep Philippe from getting suspicious while you're busy getting ready. Before you can reply, she walks out of the door, leaving the acrid smell of smoke behind her. You've been through so much together. Will Sophia never trust you? Not even now? You knock at Egmont's front door for a while. He finally opens it, still bleary-eyed. Brant, what are you doing here? You're certainly welcome, but you have to talk. The Secret Chancellery has found the last straw. You need somewhere to hide until the danger passes. In exchange for Egmont's protection, you will help him with people and connections. Everything you have. Sophia's in too. If Mayor wants a revolt, he must begin as soon as possible. Yes, Brant, of course. I'll put you someplace safe. The Secret Chancellery will never find you there. I have no intention of abandoning my struggle. We will take to the streets very soon. I will count on your support. The house in which you find yourself is swarming with people like ants on an anthill. Oh damn. This is one of Mayor Egmont's shelters for the refugees who have flocked to the city. A mat on a cold floor, a wooden bowl, and a bag for your belongings. This is all you have in the world. Hiding out in a flop house like this is not difficult. Your sleep is restless and troubled, bringing neither rest nor respite. Anxiety and worry gnaw at you from within. The city will not sleep, and neither will you. Well, before we continue, it'll have to be for next week. Because I'm at the 2-hour mark. We're so close. We're so close to the rebellion. Damn, I wish I trusted Sophia more. She's so sus, man. She's just so sus. Damn. Ah, well. Next run, I'm sure. With that being said, though, I'm gonna take off. I hope everybody's had a good Sunday thus far. Um, I'll see everybody on Friday, I think, for Team Fortress 2. Yeah, and maybe a gorilla stream. We'll see. I'm not sure. I have a busy week ahead of me. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Good night, everybody. Have a good one.